Quick question. What was the last TV show that everyone was talking about? Not everyone in your group chat, not everyone on your algorithm. Everyone. Your coworkers, your parents, that one uncle who doesn't even watch TV. Take your time. I'll wait.
Has it always been purple?
Look around, you guys. This was your first home.
If the answer that came to mind is from before 2020, you're not alone. And you're not wrong, because something actually happened to television. It's not in your head. It's not nostalgia. The last true monoculture TV moment, the kind that stops a room, has a date attached to it.
Excuse me. Okay, I know that I said I thought this was a bad idea. But what do I know? I mean, it's not like I wrote the book on fatherhood. Been trying all my life to get it right. I'm still screwing up. Right, Manny?
I wrote a song about it in the car.
Of course you did.
Welcome back to Screen Therapy, the channel where we put television on the couch. We usually sit characters down and pick apart what's going on in their heads. Today we're doing something a little different. Today, the patient is the entire television industry. And honestly, it's got some things to work through.
I had a semester and a half of college, so I understand Freud. I understand therapy as a concept. But in my world, it does not go down. Could I be happier? Yeah. Who couldn't?
Here's what I'm getting into. We're going to look at 4 things. 1, the exact moment critics point to as the death of the TV monoculture. 2, the hidden mechanic in how we watch shows now that's quietly killing appointment viewing forever. 3, the money problem behind peak TV and why the flood of content you're drowning in was never built to last. And 4, the uncomfortable question at the end of all this. Is it actually TV's fault, or did we change first? Let's get into it.
No! Brain freeze!
I don't think brain freeze is an accurate description here.
If you want a tombstone date for the TV monoculture, most critics point to the exact same night, May 19th, 2019, the Game of Thrones finale. Not because the finale was good, famously, a lot of people think it wasn't, but because of what it represented. It was the last time a scripted drama functioned like a national event. Millions of people, all watching at the same hour, all posting about it before the credits even rolled, all walking into work the next day already knowing everyone else had seen it too. Multiple critics at the time called it exactly that, the end of the monoculture, not a slow fade. A funeral with a fixed date. And here's the thing, this didn't come out of nowhere. Critics had been sounding this alarm for over a decade already. Some point back even further to the mid-2000s when shows like Lost still had the whole internet theorizing together in real time. Even then, people were writing think pieces about fragmentation. Thrones didn't start the trend. It was just the last big thing standing when the trend finally caught up. So if you've been feeling like nothing hits the way shows used to, you're reacting to something real. The room where everyone gathers around one show at the same time, that room got smaller.
There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story. Nothing can stop it. No enemy can defeat it. And who has a better story than Bran the Broken?
Here's the part most people miss, because it's not really about choice or taste. It's about mechanics, the actual plumbing of how shows get released to you. Old TV worked on a drip, 1 episode a week. That gap, that week of nothing, was doing more work than we ever gave it credit for. It gave a showtime to become a conversation. Time for a cliffhanger to sit with you. Time for theories to spread, for the next episode to actually feel like an event you were counting down to. Streaming blew that up on purpose. Full season drops are built for one thing, binging. And binging is fantastic for a lazy Sunday. But structurally, it's the opposite of what builds a monoculture. Industry analysts have pointed to this directly. Netflix's own strategy of dumping entire seasons at once actively works against a show staying in the cultural conversation because there's no weekly drip keeping it there. You finish a show in a weekend. Everyone else finishes it on a different weekend. Nobody's ever talking about the same episode on the same day anymore. So the show doesn't get a slow burn cultural life. It gets a spike, huge for about 5 days, and then it's gone from the conversation just as fast, replaced by whatever dropped next Friday. We didn't just get more shows. We got a release model that's actively hostile to the thing that used to make a show iconic in the first place.
To tell you the truth, I don't know what my alter ego had in mind when he wrote that crap. I just pulled from various blogs on the internet, mixed and matched. Presto manifesto.
Now let's talk about volume, because this is the part that explains why the flood happened at all. 2022 was, by a wide margin, the highest number of scripted shows ever produced in a single year, 500 plus. Think about that number for a second. 500 scripted series competing for your attention in 12 months. No human being, no algorithm, no critic could keep up with that. But here's what people get wrong about that number. It wasn't a sign of a healthy, thriving industry. It was closer to a bubble. A chunk of it was pandemic backlog finally getting released all at once. And a bigger chunk of it was every major media company panic launching their own streaming service at the same time, throwing money at content to justify the subscription price before anyone had actually confirmed people would pay for 6 different services at once. Turns out they wouldn't. Households have limits, and once that became obvious, the spending stopped just as fast as it started. That flood of content you were drowning in for a couple of years, that wasn't the new normal. That was a bubble popping in slow motion. And we're already living in the correction, which means there's too much TV to focus on any one thing isn't a permanent law of the universe. It was a very specific, very expensive 5-year accident. Here's where I want to push back on myself a little, because I think there's a version of this argument that's a bit too convenient. Some of the strongest cultural critics writing about this right now aren't even talking about TV specifically anymore. They're talking about all of us. The argument goes like this. The market doesn't try to sell to everyone anymore. It sells to you, your feed, your algorithm, your niche, and when everything is built to be personal, we stop defining ourselves by what we share with other people and start defining ourselves by what makes us different from them. If that's true, it's not really a TV problem. TV is just the symptom. The real shift is that we don't want a monoculture the way we used to. We built an entire internet optimized for individual taste and then acted surprised when nothing feels collective anymore. And I'd push back on the premise a little further too, because shows like Severance, The Bear, and Stranger Things have absolutely produced real cultural moments in the last few years. Just different shaped ones. Not everyone watched the same episode Sunday night moments. More like a clip goes viral, a meme takes over your feed for a week, a fan theory trends without most people ever watching the actual show. Iconic didn't necessarily die. It might have just changed shape into something faster, smaller, and way more scattered than what we're used to calling iconic.
I don't understand what happened to that car.
Elle has superpowers.
I'm sorry?
Superpower. She threw it with her mind. Come on, catch up.
That's Elle?
Who's Elle?
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Robin. I work with Steve.
She cracked the top secret code.
Yeah, which is how we found out about the Russians in the first place.
Russians? Wait, what Russians?
The Russians!
Those were Russians? Some of them.
What are you talking about?
So, is the iconic TV show actually dead? Not exactly. It's more like it got decentralized. It stopped being one big flame everyone gathers around and turned into 1,000 smaller ones, each burning for about a week before the algorithm moves on to the next. Maybe that's a loss. Maybe it's just different. But either way, the next time you feel like nothing hits like it used to, know that it's not you. The room actually did get smaller. You're just standing in a much bigger building now with a lot more doors. If this kind of breakdown is your thing, this is exactly what Screen Therapy does. So hit subscribe because we've got a lot more sessions coming. And let me know in the comments, what's the last show you think actually pulled off a real monoculture moment? I'll read through them. See you in the next session.